Hey guys, I just ate these kale chips I made, so I'm afraid I got it all in my teeth right now. That was a really bad idea, wasn't it? I should have waited. Oh well, you see kale in my teeth. We're just gonna roll with it. All right. So, chapter 6 yesterday. We've discovered that Tiffany and Annabelle are in the wrong house. In the very messy room in the wrong house. It's a Friday, so that means they're stuck there for the whole weekend. This princess dress doll and this huge, she said this bigger doll was like the size of Nora, who's in kindergarten. So we've got this princess doll and this big doll have just come into their room and yelled attack, and there's this group of dolls, like smaller dolls, fleeing from them. So we're trying to figure out what's going on. All right, so chapter 7 is called The Longest Night. Who are you? Asked the doll in the yellow slippers. Annabelle, that's one of the dolls that was running away from the attacking dolls. Annabelle turned away from the window. The building in which she now found herself was a hut made of small plastic blocks. Lego, she realized, probably built by the boy whose room this was. Yeah, who are you? Shouted a voice from outside. That's Mean Mimi, whispered the doll in the slippers. Annabelle and Tiffany peered through the window again and saw the princess doll standing only a few inches away, hands on her hips. Tiffany poked her head out the window. I'm Tiffany Funcraft, and this is my best friend Annabelle Doll, she called. What are you doing here? Asked Mean Mimi. Don't answer, hissed the doll in the slippers. It's better not to talk to her. Tiffany pulled her head inside, and Annabelle watched Mean Mimi wait a moment for an answer, and then called to the giant, Come on, Sandra, leave him alone for now. The princess and the giant left the room, and the princess slammed the door shut behind her. Annabelle was facing the oddest assortment of dolls she'd seen since her days more than 100 years ago in the old doll maker's workshop in London. The doll in the yellow slippers was standing between two other dolls, one wearing pink pajamas and pink fuzzy slippers, the other wearing blue pajamas and blue fuzzy slippers. Their hair and skin color were different, Annabelle noted, but otherwise their faces looked just alike. And next to the pajama dolls were two... What? Annabelle had seen dolls like them somewhere before, she thought. And then she remembered the day Kate had come home from school with a doll lent to her by Rachel. It was chubby and squat with wild frizz of brilliantly colored hair, which Kate had spent nearly an hour braiding and unbraiding and braiding again. What had Kate called the doll? A troll? Annabelle thought. And now here were two trolls next to the dolls in the pajamas, each wearing sort of a poncho made of scrap of fabric and a hole cut in the center, which had been slipped over her head. One troll's hair was bright blue, and the other's was rainbow of colors. So these are the dolls that were running away from Mean Mimi. We've got the pajama dolls. I think the P's were pink, yellow, and blue. And then these are the trolls in there, and then we'll meet these guys in just a second. They look pretty scared, don't they? Annabelle was so fascinated by the troll dolls that at first she didn't see the 6 other dolls in the hut. When she did, she let out a gasp. The dolls were behind the trolls, and they looked as though they were floating. When Annabelle realized that only 5 appeared to float, the 6th was holding onto a yellow Lego above the doorway. The others fluttered and flapped below her on a draft of air. The dolls were made of paper, pale green paper, and they hung in a wavering line joined at their hands. The dolls in the yellow slipper stepped forward. Do you live here? She asked. No, said Annabelle. We're here by mistake. We live at Kate Palmer's house, and we accidentally got in her backpack before she went to school yesterday. Then we got out of her backpack in school, so we climbed to see what school is like, and then we climbed in the wrong backpack, not Kate's, Annabelle trailed off. And when we got out of the backpack, Tiffany spoke up. We were here, she paused. Where are we anyways? This is BJ's room. Is BJ a boy? One of the trolls stepped forward. Yep, BJ Gordon. Tiffany looked at Annabelle. BJ Gordon. Is he in Kate's class? I'm not sure, replied Annabelle, frowning. Are you BJ's dolls? She asked. The blue-haired troll laughed. No, we belong to Callie. Callie? Who's Callie? Asked Tiffany. She's BJ's sister. Her room's next door. We come in here to hide sometimes. What are your names? Annabelle asked, timidly. The doll in the yellow slippers put her arms around the other dolls in slippers and said, We're the PJ Party Pals. I'm Yvonne, and that's Penny in the pink, and that's Beth in the blue. And these," she continued, "are the troll twins. Callie didn't give them names, and they didn't come with names, so they just named themselves." "I'm Waterfall," said the troll with the blue hair. "Isn't that the most beautiful name you've ever heard?" "And I'm Magnificent Mariah Rainbow," said the other troll, "but you can call me Melody for short." The chain of paper dolls fluttered as Waterfall walked by them. "We're the cutouts," they said in unison. Annabelle looked at the outline of their green dresses and hair, at their plain, featureless faces, and waited to hear their names, but they said nothing more, just swayed gently on an air current. "You come in here to hide," Tiffany repeated. "From Callie?" "No, from Mean Mimi," said Waterfall. "But who's Mean Mimi?" asked Annabelle. "And why does she want that giant doll to chase after you?" Melody sighed. "Let's sit down," she said. "It's kind of a long story." "A long story," echoed the cutouts. Annabelle and Tiffany sat on the floor in the center of the Lego hut with the PJ Party Pals and the Troll Twins. The cutouts swayed near the doorway. "Mean Mimi's real name," began Melody, "is Princess Mimi. She arrived 2 years ago, and the rest of us were already here. Callie likes dolls, and she has a lot of them. Most of them are alive. I'm usually the one to give the oath," said Waterfall proudly. So here's them sitting inside the Lego house. We've got the PJ Party Pals. I was wrong about the PYMB. The Trolls, Twins, and then Annabelle and Tiffany. "Oh, yes. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm usually the one to give the oath," said Waterfall proudly. "Oh, yes, she gives the oath," said the cutouts. "Anyway, when Mimi first arrived," continued Melody, "we all wanted to be her friend. We thought she was beautiful. She was nice and funny, and she seemed to want to be our friend. But soon," said Beth, "we saw how bossy she was. She was always telling us to do this and do that. Why? Because she thinks she's a real princess, not a doll in princess clothes. She thinks one day she's going to be queen of all dolls," added Penny. "All dolls, as in all dolls in the world." "The queen of all dolls," sang the cutouts. "So she ordered us around," said Melody. "She expected us to do whatever she said. She told us to get things for her and do favors for her so she could have everything she wanted. At first we didn't mind. We were just so happy that this girl who was so smart and confident and exotic," said the cutouts. "Right, exotic," agreed Melody. "That was this wonderful exotic girl wanted to be our friend. Each of us hoped to be her best friend. Then, one by one, we saw Mimi for what she really was, a bully. We began calling her Mean Mimi instead of Princess Mimi," said Waterfall. "We told her we weren't going to be friends with her anymore," continued Melody. "We said she didn't know the true meaning of friendship." Annabelle opened her eyes wide. "What did she say?" "She said, 'You'll be sorry, you'll pay for this,' and she started doing all these mean things to us." "Why didn't you just ignore her?" asked Tiffany. "We tried to," said Yvonne, "in the beginning." "In the beginning," chorused the cutouts. "But there are other dolls here," said Melody, "and Mean Mimi has turned some of them against us, the ones she can control." "You mean like the giant?" asked Annabelle. "Yes," said Beth. "That's the Sandra doll. She's the most dangerous, I guess, since she's the biggest. There are others as well." "Techno Man and Sleeping Billy," whispered the cutouts. "Any other?" asked Tiffany. "Nope. It's Mean Mimi, the Sandra doll, and Techno Man, and Sleeping Billy against the rest of us," said Waterfall. "Who are Techno Man and Sleeping Billy?" asked Annabelle, looking nervously out the window. "And," she went on, "how come we haven't heard the Sandra doll say anything? Does she talk?" "Does she talk? Does she talk? No, she doesn't talk," sang the cutouts. Melody drew in a deep breath. "All right, here's the deal. Like I said, Mean Mimi's friends," she calls them friends, but they aren't true friends, "are the dolls she can control. Take the Sandra doll. She may be big, but she's really a baby who just learned how to walk. We don't exactly know how Mean Mimi controls her, but we think the Sandra doll is afraid of her. And she's too young to know what to do about it, so she just does whatever Mimi tells her to do." "Yeah, like go crashing around and stepping on us," said Beth. So this is the Sandra doll. She's big. She reminds me of the doll in Toy Story 3, the big baby doll. Goes, all right, big baby. Isn't that what the Lotso hugging bear calls her? Big baby. Yeah, like go crashing around and stepping on us, said Beth. Then there's Techno Man, said Melody. He's actually on Mimi's side voluntarily. He should know better, said the cutouts. And he's... Melody paused dramatically. He's an action figure, she whispered. What? Shrieked Annabelle. Action figures never take the oath, cried Tiffany. She turned to Annabelle in alarm. So here's Techno Man. He's kind of crazy looking. Annabelle recalled a night years earlier when she had pestered Nanny with questions about the doll oath, about the oath in doll state and upholding the doll code of honor. She distinctly remembered Nanny saying, "Oh no, action figures don't take the oath. They're too destructive. They would never agree to work for the benefit of doll kind. Even if one did agree, he would be in PDS, remember that's permanent doll state, in the blink of an eye. Action figures are out of control." And now here was Melody saying, we don't know what happened. One day Techno Man just got up and walked out of a bucket of action figures. It was really scary, said Yvonne. Now we're afraid of the whole bucket, added Penny. Good Lord, thought Annabelle. I'm certainly glad I don't live in this house. The captain was beginning to seem friendly by comparison. What does Techno Man do? Asked Tiffany. Oh, you'll probably see, replied Waterfall. Yes, you'll see, sang the cutouts. He's got all these gadgets, rockets, and lasers and stuff, said Melody. Do they work? Are they real? Asked Annabelle. Sort of, said Yvonne. Not really, said Beth. What about Sleeping Billy? Asked Tiffany. Sleeping Billy, repeated Melody. Well, Sleeping Billy is really a baby, but more of a baby than the Sandra doll. He's an infant, said Waterfall. He's bigger than Mean Mimi, though, said Penny. He's even bigger than Techno Man. He's the soft baby doll. He's the soft baby doll wearing a bunting with a hood. Only his plastic face peeks out of the bunting, and all he wants to do is play with whatever you put in front of him. But he'll do what Mean Mimi tells him to do. The thing is, said Waterfall, that his eyes can open and close, and they close every time he lies down. And whenever his eyes close, he immediately falls asleep. So he's not much good to Mimi, except that because he's stuffed, it's pretty hard for him to get hurt. Emma has some dolls like that. You put them flat and their eyes closed or sitting up their eyes open. Annabelle once again peered out of the window of the Lego hut. BJ's room seemed quiet. But where do you suppose everybody is? She asked. I still don't see Mean Mimi or anybody. They're probably next door in Callie's room, replied Beth. In Mean Mimi's headquarters, chorused the cutouts. That's where her throne and her robe are. All her princess stuff. She came with lots and lots of accessories, Waterfall explained. But right now, I'm sure she's getting ready for an attack. An attack? Cried Annabelle. On us? Well, what if the humans see? Oh, they won't see, said Melody. No, they never see, sang the cutouts. They go away every weekend. We're on our own here until Sunday night. Melody made a face. What kind of attack? Asked Annabelle. Mean Mimi plans all sorts of things, said Penny. Usually she sets up BJ's racetrack with one end, the high end, in Callie's room and the low end in here. Then she launches racing cars at us like missiles. She does other things too, of course. She attaches all of Techno Man's gadgets to him and sends them after us, and she sets the Sandra doll on us, whatever she can think of. That's how mad she is that we aren't her friends anymore, Melody concluded. The dolls were silent for a few moments. Then the cutouts dropped to the floor and glided by a window, each peering outside in turn. The PJ Party Pals and the Troll Twins began testing the sides of the Lego hut, wondering how sturdy it was. Annabelle pushed Tiffany away from the others. We're stuck here until Sunday, she whispered. Tiffany nodded. So we'll have to help out in the fight against Mean Mimi. It's the only thing to do. Annabelle pressed her lips together and blinked her eyes. I know, she said at last. All right, so we've met a bunch of new characters. So we found out that the princess doll, that's Mean Mimi. And then she's got Sandra, Sleeping Billy, Techno Man all on her team. And so she's got kind of like this little army almost, and then it's her little group against all the other dolls. So we've met the PJ Party Pals, the Troll Twins, the kind of creepy cutouts, how they sing all the time. And they're kind of hunkered down in this Lego house where they said they'll be there for the whole weekend because the family goes away all weekend. All right, so tomorrow we will read chapter 8, and chapter 8 is called Spies. Spies. And I want to show you a picture of the cutouts. They look like they're getting their spy gear on. So maybe they are going to be kind of helpful after all. Who knows? All right, so I will see you guys back here tomorrow for chapter 8. Have a great day. Bye.